Flow into Fire Alchemy, day 16. First of all, this is a long challenge. Challenging myself to flow every day for 16 days and video it and create a video and post a video has totally been a thing. And so I'm so grateful to have challenged myself to flow for 16 days in a row. Really, it's 18. 2 days I didn't video anything and get to post it because I was too busy doing logistics for Fire Alchemy. So, oh, hey, semi-famous party, we're having it. So I figured today for the, oh my gosh, it's so great to see so many friends here. Thanks for joining in to this little live. I just wanted to dance for you today as Fire Alchemy happens tomorrow. We depart to go to the castle around noon, and Kiki comes in tonight, and I just can't express, you know that feeling when your vacation or the thing you've been thinking about for months or like years really, all culminates in this moment, and it keeps creeping closer. That's how I feel. It's like everything's wiggly and exciting, and I have so many things to do at the same time. So it's been pretty insane to get 50 people and all their logistics. I just want to show you this way. It's really pretty. All together to come to a fire dancing gathering, which is a lot of logistics, let me tell you. Anyhow, I'm going to flow with a couple different veils and kind of speak in between. So those of you who are watching, I would love for you to tell me what you see in me while I'm flowing. Okay. Fire. Thanks, Duncan. Feels like fire. And this one with the backlighting just looks so magnificent, right? With the colors. Feels like fire. We don't have AC. I mean, I'd be great if they switched my ass. Statue of Liberty. Thanks, Leo. Yeah. Fire. It's hot here. I feel this like simmering fire in my belly. I'm a Sagittarius, and so sometimes the fire comes out, and I have a tendency to do that because I'm a little bit overworked right now. So it's very fascinating to see that. Slow burn, Leo season, right? And so, yeah, definitely fire. And so now I want to flow something a little different. I have a couple of really beautiful blue silk veils, and so I'm going to pick one of these to flow with towards the mirror this time so you can see both angles. Yeah, with that, gosh, so Fire Alchemy is a ritual performance gathering in like 2 hours west of here in a castle with a big field and a bunch of woods, and there's 45 to 50 of us going, and I am so freaking excited. just to see everyone. Like, I almost know everyone personally, or those I don't know personally are really good friends of the people who I do know personally. And so being one of the instigators to holding and hosting this gathering feels so big and exciting, because it's like everyone coming together into this web, and it feels it's at Stronghold, Duncan. It feels like everything's culminating together, and all these humans are excited to come and witness whatever we're doing. I'm supposed to be planning my classes right now, but I'm flowing with you instead. It feels really big, and it feels like all the intentions of what I desire to do, the reasons that I do fire, the reasons I do silk, the reasons I teach and I perform and I live in such a manner as I do, is to empower humans to their own nature, and to really bring their own power forward. And so this is a really extraordinary gathering, retreat, where people get to really tap into that physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually firsthand. And I'm just so excited to share this flow journey. Because I think essentially it's really changed my life. It's changed my life. It's totally changed my life. Flowing helps me to move through the things that get stuck, right, or those angry points, or like when I take things personally, or when I realize I've made assumptions about things, I can tap into this no mind space that helps me get into my body, to love my body, and not just always be up here in the head. Like, I get to commune with God, goddess, spirit, source, whatever you want to call it, as me, as I flow. And that's the most important bit to me of all this, is to teach people how to have that access point that's inside of us already, that we don't need any gatekeepers to, and that the world outside has really divorced us from. So I talk a lot about the pussy magic, about how that is a necessary force for that femme energy to be uplifted. And so this flow, this fire alchemy, is how to transform your life through working with flow and fire. Kind of outside and agendered, but more so looking at the balance of both of those and how they come together and how they bring themselves into alignment in our own bodies, and how we can facilitate that. Not necessarily do it, but to facilitate it. Duncan's saying that there's great energy at Stronghold. There really is. And yeah, that fire pit is where we'll be hosting our fire gatherings, and calling on the 4 directions and the elements, hosting rituals where we're all just present and co-creating an intentional moment together is a big, big thing. And I'm excited to co-create with the energy that any of you who visited Stronghold, let's do that. Duncan, I'd love to know more about your experiences. Okay, I'm gonna flow. I feel like this one is a little bit more air. Okay, I love this tail here. So, little flow moment for you. Feel free to, if you want to, get up and move or dance. So as I flow, I've taught myself to speak as I flow and allow my voice to be heard while I stay in my body and flow, speaking what I feel. So here I feel my eyes slowly starting to hood halfway as I move this veil with my breath. Dipping and swooshing as if the winds were moving me. as if I am the air, I am the wind. For I am, as I tap into it at some capacity. I'm feeling all the directions, all the ancestors, all the spirits, all the gods, unified in one God, in many. As I be in this momentary prayer, in this beingness of movement, of shape, of air, of light, of being. I have the reminder, I have the power to transform any moment into anything I desire. And that's pretty incredible. By tapping into my body, out of the stress, out of the world around me, and not looking at it as stress, I understand that I am here to serve. And I'm here to be and live joyfully. So, yeah, as we move into fire alchemy, I'm teaching 2 workshops which are on my mind. One is sensual authenticity with veils and hoops, circles and flow. And how do we come to our senses, right? Our body is the gateway to the temple, to the spirit. Our body is the temple of the spirit. It is the flesh, in my opinion. And our senses, sight, smell, taste, sound, my voice, touch, and feel, deeper intuition. Those are access points to understanding the flows that happen in this world. It's different for you. And when we do that, when we can tap into those different senses, we allow for ourselves to truly live here now and to find that temple. So this workshop I'm teaching, sensual authenticity, is about allowing ourselves to non-judgmentally witness what we feel in our body. So if you're able and you're watching, I encourage you to do this with me now, okay? Movement, if you like. To move your body through the air anyhow, even if it's just turning your head side to side or moving your hands up and down, or maybe just one hand, and notice how this feels. How does it feel inside your body to move your sinew, your bone, your muscle? And then how does it feel to waft through the air? What does the sweat feel like on your skin, airing out? What does it feel like? Likewise, what noises are around you? What breezes are coming through that make you feel? Hear a fan, feel the breeze, put them together. Feel that. What do you see? What colors are around you? What brightnesses? What shadows? Notice this. Notice how this merges. When you can see these colors so brightly, you can become part of those colors yourself. Maybe look down at your hand and notice the color and the variance and the hues within your own skin. Your skin is not just one color. It is so many different shades, with the blood bubbling underneath, with your muscle tissue moving, with the sun's action upon your skin, the light allowing you to see everything because of the magic, science of the rods and cones in our eyeballs, our retinas, small mirrors that allow for us to see these colors. Notice, this is the gateway to the spirit, to the knowing. This little spark of consciousness knows all of these things and sees them. Yes, we rainbow, baby. We're every color. And we're no colors at the same time because it's all subjective. I will say that. It's all what you think, what you feel, how you feel in it. We all look different. We look at the world differently. And so when we notice, without any judgment, the colors, the shades, the temperature, all of it, right? Then we feel what it's like inside our body. right? So the senses are this gateway to feeling, to the temple of our body. How does it feel to be hearing my voice? To be receiving these words, which are just random sounds that we have been taught how to do, that have evolved over centuries, millennia, really, that come into your ear holes. And then because we have associated meaning with every single sound and these strings of sounds, we perceive meaning. So I can communicate my meaning to you, my senses, projecting through astral, internet, camera technologies into your life. So how does that make you feel, right? How does that enter your temple body? The gateway to your spirit. So as you flow today, right, especially I see many of you coming on here who are going to be at Fire Alchemy. I see you, T, Regal Resonance, and I invite you, whatever you're doing, to ground into how you feel in your body, how the senses are this gateway, right? And in this class, sensual authenticity with the hoops and veils, we're going to be looking at this through the lens of an object. So often when we flow with something, right, when we flow with the veil, we allow ourselves to get out of our head, the thinking brain, and into the body where we feel things and where we actually start to pay more attention to the senses. And so by using the silk, the softness of the fabric, the bright colors or no colors, whatever you want to call it, right? The sound, can you hear this? The whoosh, the feel. I taste my mouth differently when I feel all of the senses around me activated by this veil as I flow authentically, reacting to whatever I feel. So I ask you, as you flow down the street, down the way, into your life, to pay a little more attention to what you feel. And Hara, I'm sorry they took yours at the airport. That's so weird. Why did they take your silk veil? I'm sorry, but let me know. I'll hook you up. And go. Where do I get these ideas? I think a lot, I dance a lot, I read a lot. I read a lot about alchemy, and recently, not so recently, maybe the past 7 years, Tantra, studying with Sophia Tom of Temple Body Arts, of working with Kiki, but then mostly all of this, all of the reading and studying I've done corroborates these ideas that come into my field because I allow myself to be really open, I think, to receive the knowledge of other people around me. And then that allows me to have, I don't know, these epic experiences, these downloads. And I guess maybe a better answer is that what I'm saying isn't unique. There's lots and lots of other people, many of you, Hara, Regal Resonance, tuned in here, have these same awakenings, right? We learn them, we get that spark from someone else. But in reality, we've noticed it. We're ready for this information. It's not unique. It's not information to be guarded or guided or sequestered. And so in that, I'm sharing this with you freely. And I encourage you to think, because we all have the capacity to awaken to these things. Right? It's not unique. It's not just you. It's not just me. Thousands of people live their lives like this. Oh, I just got this caught. Not nice. We're just going to leave that there. And so it's not just us. It's all of us. It's this collective. So keep thinking about your life. Keep opening. Don't circle. Don't circle needlessly or spiral mindlessly. Allow yourself to center and open. And try to find this place where it's not quite so like, yeah, good, terrible, right? Try to find this middle ground where the good things are good, but you don't need them. You don't become addicted to that endorphin. And then the bad things aren't bad, and you don't let your whole world get spun by something terrible that happens to you, but you can find the beauty and the flow in everything. People always tell me I'm great at finding the silver linings, and they kind of actually hate me for that. Some people have told me, which I think is dumb. But whatever, they can think whatever they want to. But I think it's lovely to find the silver linings within everything, because everything has a silver lining and not everything is so dire. Yeah. So these are some of the things I'm excited to talk about at Fire Alchemy this weekend. So my other workshop that I'm doing is with fire fans, which are all packed right now, but it is about serpentine shapes and curvatures, right? So as we talk about not letting ourselves like find these highs and lows, as I dance, I actually involve my whole body in these serpentine shapes to move. And actually this has been something I've been teaching on my Patreon for almost the whole pandemic and before Patreon. But I find so much solace in how the body can always spiral out of something or spiral into something, right? You're never stuck. You can always spiral out or spiral in and come back to where you are. Come over to a new place. And so these serpentine shapes, these spirals, these sinuous movements are directly related to that. They are directly into our movements. Directly related to our movements. Because as we practice moving our body in spirals, it's easier thus to move our mind in spirals. And it's also easier to clear the crap that gets caught in our bodies. Sore muscles, tight hips, emotional blockages, poor digestion, indigestion in the stomach, irregular heartbeats, trouble breathing. We can heal so much through movement, right? Physical therapy is good, but that's someone else doing it for you, and it's not necessarily you doing it for you. You know what I mean? And yes, I do pole dance, and that reminds me that this is also a giant spiral. So, as I go, right, I'm moving on this in spirals and waves, allowing myself to be here, supported, but really flowing through the world, right? And this allows us, as we start to move more in these ways, it allows us to feel how it's possible, how we're capable of spiraling out of a situation that's really toxic, right? But this can also be a bad thing, right? You can spiral out of control by not knowing when to temper the spiral or how to switch the spiral from spiraling out to spiraling back in, right? Everything has to come back down, which is why when you have those moments of ecstasy, you oftentimes have stark depressions as well. And so by trying to find that center place, we don't live like monotone lives, right? Which is what antidepressants actually kind of do. They don't let you feel either direction. You allow yourself to feel these things, but you know that you're not going to get caught up in them. And so the flow, just like with flow toys or pole or my dancing, I am so not warmed up for this. It really allows us to find that center point. Okay, so I need to get off here because it's a studio rental in 5 minutes, but okay, so I have always been thinking about these things and wishing that I was born in the 70s, or rather the 60s, when I felt that all of this was like the thing, you know, or like wishing I was born back in ancient Egyptian times when people were open-minded like this. But it's now, right? And so we can't wish for any other time we are than now. So really early on, I was like, growing up in the suburbs of Ohio, I was like, there's nobody else out there. There is. So if you feel alone, there totally is people out there with the same like-mindedness. And what I'm saying is be a seeker. If you feel it, be a seeker. And I want to also say, I'm here, this little carousel pony, silk goddess, to be a beacon, to ignite your flame, to light your fire, to show you the alchemy of your life, to share my flow toys with you, and to teach through my Patreon, through my retreats, through my classes, to help guide you through the Pussy Magic program, right? All of these things. Ignite Your Inner Flame retreat coming up in February in Costa Rica. Shine Your Light in St. Croix in December. Fire Alchemy here in Chicago, outside Chicago, in August. The Pussy Magic program starting again in January for 6 months. Like my ongoing Patreon where there's 4 new classes every single month. Like there are ways to study this, to be in a like-minded group of people. There's also live classes here in the studio on Tuesdays, and then fire dancing on Wednesdays. Holler at me for the dates. But there's so many ways for you to seek. And if you're not here in this community, seek me out online, come to one of these retreats, or find people who think this way and circle around them. Don't think that you don't know enough. Don't think that you're not good enough or not ready, but you have to trust yourself and lean in, because that's you getting out of that spiral and coming back into the spiral. Okay, so that's what my other workshop's gonna be about, but with fans. And I got a jet, y'all. Porcelain Pistol's coming into the studio soon, so I'm gonna leave you with another little pole swoop, and then I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. Flow into Fire Alchemy. Tomorrow we leave. It's so exciting. I'll be doing some stories on my Patreon and putting some photos up there. I see you, T. Thank you for all the love. I can't wait to flow with you. And thanks again, T. Okay, little flow. So sweaty. I keep sweating. That, my beauties, is it. Thanks for tuning in. You're welcome for the positive vibes. More of this on my Patreon. Come to a retreat. Tune people into my channel. I love sharing the love. And mostly, thank you for being here. I'll catch y'all soon. Bye.